All right, so let's take a look at good morning, everybody. Today is July 18th, 2023. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. So let's take a look at SPY this morning early. All right, not much happening here. We moved up. We made a 57 cents higher high yesterday on Monday, and then we pulled back, and it looks like we stopped right on top of minor support right here. So we'll see what they want to do early this morning. SPY still currently in a daily uptrend. If we look at the daily chart, we'll zoom in here. Here's our daily chart, green trend indicator balls. Price is up over the 3 EMA. 3 EMA is up over the 8 EMA or the T line, and all three of them are up over the trend indicator. So we have a daily uptrend in play. Now we're looking for price to probably consolidate up over this trend line right here, which if I roll out or scroll out, it starts way back here. So actually starts back in September right there. September and December. So there's one look at the SPY, and then we will take another look at the SPY right here, another trend line. You can see price is above that one. And we have another trend line. This one starts from March. It's another channel price is currently in. And here's our measured move from the October low. And if we zoom in up here. All right, so we got two gaps that are below us. I think the first gap starts around 447 something. I'll zoom in, see if I can find it again. I had it all mapped out. Here they are. So here's a gap here that starts about 447.50, and looks like it runs down to about 446. And then just below that, there is yet again another gap. And that one starts about 445, and that one runs till about 443. So my morning SPY pivot is 450.10. As long as we stay over that, I'm a bull. If we get under that, then I'm going to be a bear on today's price action. How I found that, this seemed to be the common ground, taking in account for Friday's price action and Monday's price action. And I can see a little bit of support here building up. So we'll see if they break through that. Then I think they're going to test this area. And I don't know that that area is going to hold, but it may hold. It might not. And I think price will probably come down to the top of this gap, 447.50. So SPY currently in an uptrend. Let's take a look at the QQQ. So here's QQQ. We'll look at that on the daily chart. Daily chart, green trend indicator balls, QQQ. This is technology, mostly technology, in a daily uptrend and just kind of melting up at this time. So they've gone up and they're kind of just melting up. So QQQ, daily uptrend. And let's take a look at FNGU. Now FNGU seems to power both the SPY and the QQQ. FNGU, daily bullish uptrend right here on FNGU. So FNGU is looking good. Had a little pullback, went up, reached a new high, then we pulled back. Now we're going to go back and attack those highs. Seem to be melting up on the FNGU. Notice how the FNGU kind of mirrors just about the SPY and the QQQ. So there's FNGU. Now let's take a look at our T2122. So this is the one I use quite often, pretty much daily. So T2122, we're up in the buy zone currently. Good morning, CJ, Melinda, Julie, Mai, and Mike. So again, made a higher low, produced a higher high. So as long as the market continues to produce higher lows and higher highs, we're gonna remain bullish. So T2122 up in the buy zone, up in the upper half of the T2122. 2123 had a red trend indicator ball at the closing out 15 minutes. We'll see what they want to do with it. Things are still bullish. Nothing's falling apart. A little bit of a pullback would be normal to support right about here, right at 630,000, 632,000 or 1,000 right there. So there's T2123, T2123 on the 3-bar chart, still bullish, green trend indicator, lots of space between price action and the trend indicator here on T2123 3-bar chart. Now we'll head back over here and we'll take a look at IWM. IWM currently in a bull flag. Here's your flagpole, and trash that, take that off, get some tools, and here's your flagpole, and there's your flag right there. So currently in a bull flag, up over 191. Looking for another breakout. The longer it stays in this bull flag, the more likely that a moving average catches up with the bottom side of it and kicks it off to a higher high. So there's IWM. Now let's take a look at the diamonds. So here's the diamonds this morning. We are in the middle of a W pattern, and here is the battleground that plays out when you have a W pattern. Here's the apex in the middle, and when you have a W pattern, typically there is a battle that happens when we make it back to this area where the apex is right there. So you can see we've had 3 days of battle so far. Now, after the battle is over, the victor usually emerges on the other side. So it'll either go up or down, one or the other. So we'll see who wins the battle and how long they want to conduct this battle. It's looking like it's ready to break out right there. So it looks like the diamonds are going to make another move higher. And I would expect 350 to be the target, at least an initial target there. And I think Lockheed Martin either reports today or tomorrow. That could be a big mover for the diamonds, as well as I think Bank of America today also. So we'll see what happens there. So now let's take a look at the XLF. So here's our financials. This is our financial sector. Currently in a melting uptrend. Trend indicator balls are green. Price action is up over the 3. 3 is up over the T line, which is the 8 EMA. And then all 3 of them are over the trend indicator. Here's our midpoint. This is from this high to the last low. And price is currently trading up over the midpoint, which is a huge sign for the XLF. Notice we can't quite break into This would be the upper 30%. I'm having a difficult time breaking into this area right here, this green box. This would be the upper 30%. Now, when a stock is bullish, I like it to remain in the upper 30%. And this is having a hard time breaking into that upper 30% area. I consider a stock to be bullish as long as it remains in that upper 30%. And you can see this one is having trouble just trying to get into it. It is a good sign that it's up over the midpoint. And we're making higher lows and higher highs. So we'll see what happens. We are in the middle of earnings season. Things could break out and put us back into this upper 30%, maybe even start attacking that high that we made probably at the beginning of the year right there on the XLF. So let's talk about what else moves the market. Let's take a look at SMH. So this is our chip stocks. Chip stocks are doing very well yesterday. And you can see we had a W pattern that played out. And it came in here and up, produced a higher low, and then produced a higher high. So nice move, little lightning bolt pattern right there. You get the equal high, the higher low to produce the higher high. It's a nice move on the SMH. And if we take a look at that, we have price up over the 3 EMA, 3 EMAs over the T-line or the 8 EMA, and everything. All three of them are up over the trend indicator. So nice upward trend, uptrend here happening in SMH. Now let's go take a look at the transports. Now when we get all three of these, the transports, the financials, and the tech sector, when all three of them are acting bullish, there's no stopping the market to how high it can go until the bulls get tired. So now we've got, here's the SMH, green trend indicator balls, daily uptrend, price up over the 3 up over the 8 EMA, and all three up over the trend indicator. And again, we're making higher highs. So same pattern here in the SMH that we saw earlier. Right there. So let me take a look. Did I hit this wrong? I think I may have hit this wrong. Anyways, there's SMH making higher highs right now. I think I wanted to go to the transports. Let's try this one more time. Here's our transports. All right, so here's our transports challenging the uptrend line right here. We'd like to see it bounce and make a higher high. So we're having some difficulty. Here's the last move. There's the low. And then there's the high. So price went up, pulled back, tested minor support right here, which is about 244.50. And then from there, we bounced up and we made another high up here at 260. So now we're come back to 250. And I'd like to see us bounce back up to 260, if not higher. This is the last move in the IYT, the transports. And as I was saying, when you've got all three of these, the transports, the financials, and the technology sector, all in bullish uptrends, there's no stop in the market. So this is kind of a harsh pullback right here. This 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to the downside. Now that was a pop up and a fade back. So probably just 3 candles to the downside here. Notice we are passing through the minor support area right here. So there's the price action from yesterday, passing through what would be minor support, Minor support is where you have candles sticking up, and this would have been the minor support area right through there. And you can see price has made it through the minor support, so now it's headed down to kind of major support. This would be intraday major support back here, and if this fails, we could be heading lower for the transports. Possible trend break here. So there we are on the IYT. So now let's take a look at the economic calendar. And not ready for that one yet. Now let's take a look at the economic calendar. So for today we got retail sales that comes out at 8:30, industrial production at 9:15, and business inventories at 10, and housing market index at 10. So not a real bad day, but some of these could move the markets along with the earnings. And tomorrow we got housing starts permits and the petroleum status. And then later on Thursday we got jobless claims, the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing index, existing home sales, some leading indicators, and after that it's pretty much a quiet end of the week. So not a real busy week as far as the economic calendar goes, but on the earnings calendar today we have Bank of America that reports this morning, Novartis, they will report this morning, Morgan Stanley, Prologis, there's Lockheed Martin, I think that's part of the diamonds. Charles Schwab's going to report this morning, PNC Financial, and the Bank of New York Mellon Corporation. So there's some really big boys reporting this morning, and they could move the market in one direction or the other depending upon how the market views their results and whatever guidance they give us. So let's take a look at tomorrow. And we've got some big ones reporting tomorrow night. We've got Tesla and we've got Netflix. And then tomorrow morning we got Goldman Sachs and U.S. Bank Corp. And we've got Halliburton is going to report tomorrow morning. And the NASDAQ, Steel Dynamics. But some big boys are reporting tomorrow. So let's take a look at Thursday. Chip stocks, Abbott Labs. This would be the main one, this Taiwan Semiconductors. They got a market cap of, I don't know, looks like 545 billion. So that could move the market around. And DR Horton's going to report. And of course the housing stocks have been doing very well in these last 2 or 3 weeks. So there's the earnings calendar. There's the economic calendar. Now let's take a look at the dollar. So here's the dollar falling down to this low right here. And it is doing the right thing. It's consolidating. Now anytime the dollar gets cheap like this, it moves down. It's very good for the markets because it makes our goods and services more affordable on the world stage. So falling dollar helps our economy quite a bit. Problem is it creates inflation. So we'll see what they want to do with that. I'm sure that they will want to fix that if the dollar continues to get crushed. So there is the dollar and the economics. Now I want to report I've got LTA scanner here, and this is my scan from Ed, and it picks up some of the price action in the early morning inventory. So I picked up JD and pins. I'm currently long in pins, And I do like JD, so let's go take a look at JD for some market opportunity. So JD in the pre-market here has decided to gap down from, looks like 37.74 all the way down to 36.74 or so. So basically it's gapping down a buck right into the midpoint there. So I don't know that there's much opportunity there other than probably a meltdown into probably minor support right here at 36.11. So there's probably another 60-70 cents there for JD. And we'll take a look at pins. Pins, we've popped up about $1, and I actually see another dollar move up there. If I can pan out and find the right chart. There we are. And I think I got one more. There's no, not that one. This one. And we'll stick with this one right here. So right there you can see we have resistance up here at 31.01. Now you notice they've already spiked it up halfway. So there's probably still about another 80-cent move up to 31.01. That would be the first target today. If they happen to get there early, okay, and start to consolidate, look for another move up on higher all the way up to 32 and maybe 32.49. So if they get up through it, hopefully they go through it, come back, and then J-hook on top of it or either consolidate above it. That would be really nice to see for pins. So pins is gapping up this morning, and I think that's got a lot more long side left in it. So I'll be playing that on the long side, looking for a low to get into some shares and take it up higher. So we'll see what happens with pins. Hopefully the market's going to participate with me on this one. And we'll see what the market's going to do in the pre-market. So we have some banks reporting so far. I see some posts. I do not have a measured move for pins yet. It's already made its measured move. Thank you. So we have some good news. So it's possible we could be moving up higher. So we'll see what happens. And the last time we had good earnings, I think things fell down. I think the banks reported well on, I think it was Friday, we had some really good earnings come out, and instead of moving up, they moved down. So evidently they'd already priced that move in, so we'll see what happens here. So that's the SPY. And we'll take a look at what we have going on here, and we'll see if we can find anything happening here. Just Weyerhaeuser looks good. Nice 10-minute trend right here. We left off with yesterday. 10-minute uptrend. I think that continues and blows up into a, here's our 10-minute uptrend. 3 is up over the 8. I think that continues on higher. And I think BBY was in a nice uptrend, maybe a slight pullback. That's a really nice power uptrend right there. I think this goes up higher as well. So BBY and Weyerhaeuser, look for some continuation in both of those. GT, I picked this up yesterday. I didn't buy any, but I noticed on the daily chart we have a possible MMRP. right here. This looks like a 5-day MMRP. So we're looking for, this would be the igniting move on the MMRP right there. These 5 candles. So now we're looking for 5 candles to provide the check of support and the pause. And from there, we're going to look for higher lows and higher highs. So there's GT acting very bullish there. Looking for 5 days pause and then a pop for GT. So looking to scope out the low over the next 5 days for the next move up. And that's it this morning for the morning market conditions. Any questions?